Hey guys, RagingRaptor here, and welcome you to another episode of How It Really Is. My personal format to, well, basically say my impression or my personal opinion on things World of Tanks and Wargaming are doing. And I want to once more give a fair but also opinionized or just my personal opinion on something. So yeah, most of the things of you which you will hear here are my personal opinion and will be biased by my personal opinion. So just so you know, I won't give an objective view, I will give a subjective view. I think now I said it right compared to the last time I did something like this. Anyway, what do we have today? We're going to talk about this little French flag over here, which is called the Challenge on Wheels, where, well, you probably guessed it, you can get the EBR 75 FL10. This new French wheeled vehicle, which has a two-shot autoloader, which is the first wheeled vehicle which was able to be tested by a lot of people, especially community contributors, and the first premium wheeled vehicle, with the second one being a tier 2 tank, which was probably going to be giveaway as a, I don't know, wargaming gift, birthday gift or something, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to talk today about what the challenges are, what they changed about this tank, and, well, again, my personal opinion. So yeah, once again, you have several different stages you have to go through where you get different rewards from different difficulties to achieve them. And lastly, you will get the EBR 75 FL10, this French wheel vehicle. Again, if you reached number 5 stage and completed stage number 5, you will have, on the bundle of this tank, you will have around a 50%, well, discount on this bundle. I don't know yet what the bundle will cost. Like, I think last time it was around $60 or something. My guess is, because this is a light tank, it will be around $50 when you buy it straight up. But please don't count me on it. I don't know it right now. I'm just making a guess because the Prosciutto costs around 11,000 gold apparently by the wiki, and the EBR 75 costs 7,000 gold. So there's a little bit of a difference, so it won't be as expensive. But yeah, let's have a look at the challenges which we have to do to get this wheeled vehicle. Which in my eyes, basically, I'm looking very forward to play this tank, because to be fair, like, it looks fantastic for frontline. Nothing else to say. It absolutely looks fantastic and fun to play. You have this two-shot autoloader clip which you can use to burst down people. You have this two-shot autoloader clip where you can load HE shots and screw over those sky piggies. And I do know that some people don't like me saying it, but yes, I can call them artillery, but where's the fun in it? And the next episode will start on March 11th. So yeah, that will be pretty soon after this, what's it called, this event, or this, this challenge ended. Interesting enough, in these challenges, right now, the mission for mastery are also being allowed to, well, getting finished with a tier 9 vehicle, which is awesome, by the way. I love that. That's great that you can do this in tier 9 tanks as well, because tier 10 usually just turned into a huge gold spam fiesta with, well, it basically is that already, but it gets even worse. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm happy to see that you can also use tier 9 tanks. And I'm trying to see where they said till when it is going there, till the 7th of March. So, and on the 11th of March, you will be able to drive this tank in frontline mode, which again is awesome. But yeah, let's have a look at the first mastery mission, which is to be once 3,000 damage and kill 3 tanks in one game. It is doable, but it's not really that easy, because a lot of the time people will just leech for kills. So yeah, it will be a little bit annoying. I think the mission for commitment is okay. But guys, right now, I have no clue how much base XP you gain from a lose, from a victory, etc, etc. So right now, I'm doing an estimate. I'm saying that you will need, for this kind of experience, for 3000 base experience as a casual player or a standard player, which I personally think is the majority of my viewer base, no offense by the way, will probably take around the double amount of games divided by 1000. So we have 3000 base experience. So my educated guess is that we will need 6 games to achieve that, because I want to do a little bit of estimate of games you will probably need to achieve this tank. And again, you need 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to get this tank for, in quotation marks, free. It's not free because you're putting a lot of effort into it, just so you know. So yeah, first one, yeah, it's okay. The second one is either get 800 base experience for 5 times, or you do 7 rounds and win, or rather play 7 wins, and you need to be top 10 in your experience earned. So let's do a little educated guess again and say that you will need the double amount of battles, because you probably have around a 52% win rate, and again, as an educated guess, and you will not every single time be top 10 players, because in World of Tanks, you cannot perform 100% of the time 100% at your full capacity. That's simply not possible. So yeah. So let's say that these are 14 games. And just so you know, here we have it. I'm writing this all down right here. I actually forgot, it looks like, about those 6 games in the beginning, which is a little sad. So let's just add them right. No, never mind. I added them below. I explain this why later. But yeah, next, we need to do 3500 damage 6 times and need to be the top 3 players in team by damage caused. In our team, well, this shouldn't be too hard. It's just that you need to be consistent with 6 games, and yeah, and the commitment will be in our estimate around 30 games, interestingly enough. It just takes a lot of time. But here we come. 950 base experience is a lot of time, meaning you have to win and you need to be one of the major contributors to actually winning that game. So yeah, you will have a lot of hard time to actually achieve this, especially because when you lose and you got an epic medal, you do not get base experience, you just get an additional bonus, not the base experience which you would need. Or you just win 25 games, which is in our calculation 50 games to play. Next up, 20% of total damage, amount of damage. Well, it really depends. Like when the enemy has just 10,000 damage in total, you just need to do 2k damage, which is not much. Or when the enemy has, for example, 15,000 or 20,000 HP, it jumps up to 3,000 and 4,000 damage respectively. So this mission really depends what matchmaking you have and what kind of enemies you have to face. When you have a lot of type 5 heavies, which have 2,700 HP, yeah, the total HP will go up to like 30k in the enemy team. But again, this would also mean that your team needs to do either lose, which is totally an option here, and not do a lot of damage, or you simply cap. There won't be enough HP lost or damage to. So yeah, this mission is pure random, I think, but it shouldn't be too hard, especially when you play tier 9 tanks. Next up, this mission for commitment would be, 60 games in our estimate. Then 14 missions, 14 times we need to have 950 base experience. That's a lot. Or you're just going to win 35 games, which is in our estimate 70 games. So yeah, we are here and here respectively. Next up, we have mission for a commitment, which is 80 times. Basically, you have to play at least 80 games to be top 10 experience earned, and you will not be that. But I make a generous assumption that you will be in 100%, you need 100 battles, so 20 games you just kind of drifted off, played stupidly, died in the first minute, just did dumb shite. This one right here will be hard. 4,000 damage and 2 enemies at least. This is like, I think this is where I personally will cut the straw, because like, holy balls. 4k damage is a lot already, plus 2 kills, really good dudes. 80 damage or kills, not like both, seriously. And 80 games is a lot. But it gets worse in 2 stages. Now we need to have 14 games, which are pretty easy, I'd say, where we have to do 3k damage each. This is like pretty easy. The problem will be, though, that you need to be both teams by damage cost. You need to be top in both teams. This is the problem. The 3k damage are not the problem, but being top damage on both teams, that might be a problem. Or you do, in our estimate, 80 games. And here comes the deal breaker. 90 games you have to play basically to just make this mission when you go for commitment. Or you'll be top player in your team by experience earned 20 times and earn at least 850 points. Yes, obviously, you can do probably this mission in, I don't freaking know, 40 or 50 games, while you need to do at least 90 games for that one. And in the last mission, you either do 90 games in our idea, or you'll do this mission, which is at least 2,500 damage too, and be top in your team by experience earned. So, how does our estimate look like? That will be the interesting part. This one right here, this part up here, is just our estimate of games you need to win or games you at least need to play. So we have 130 games for 90 games where you need to be top 10 in experience earned. It might be a little bit too much, but let's just see how much this actually is together. So we have 14 games, we have 50 games, 70 games, 100 games, and 130 games. So with our estimate, which might be a little bit too much, but we could get them down to 330 games. So solely for the missions where Wargaming says you need to play games, we can say roughly that we need 330 games to do that, just for those missions. And now we can add, for example, the commitment mission. Again, we're taking this number right here, which we calculated. We're not going to take anything off. Plus the 6, plus 30, plus 60, plus 80, and plus 90. So our estimate now comes to around 630 games you have to play in 2 weeks to get this tank when you are a mediocre player. Again, this is an estimate, so honestly, I'd say we could easily shave off 130 games. Yet, guys, in 2 weeks, I do think that 500 games are a lot. 500 divided by 13 means you have... 500 divided, not multiplied. Okay, I'm actually stupid. Okay, there we go. Okay, again, if we take our estimate and cut it down 130 games, which could be generous, which could be not generous. Yeah. You have to play, on average, 36 games per day, 14 days straight, when you plan to do the missions in 500 games. Like, again, with our estimate. 46 games per day. I don't know, guys, but 46, let's again... Wargaming once said that 7 minutes is the average game time in World of Tanks. So times 7 minutes gives us 1,275 minutes. Wait, I now did something wrong, I think. What did I do? No. Divided by 4. Gosh darn it. Now I just lost where I was. Okay, okay. Sorry, guys. Now I just kind of fell over my own words and my own thinking. So, let's again... damn it. Let's say 36 games you need to play per day. Okay? 36 games, on average, one game takes 7 minutes. So those are 252 minutes. Divided by 60 means that on average you would need to play 4.2 hours. Or, yeah, 4 hours and what would be around 10 minutes or so. 4 hours and 10 minutes per day, each day through the whole challenge, when our estimate is fair to get the tank when you go for commitment missions. I don't know, guys, but I'm a student and I have exams. And I play World of Tanks a lot, yet still. But I will not go to 4 hours per day on World of Tanks. Maybe on the weekends, yes, more, but definitely not under the week. I have not the time for that. And I'm sure that in 90% of the cases with the viewers I'm talking to right now, thank you for watching, by the way, I don't think that you will be able to muster up the fun to play the game 4 hours each day, every day for the 2 weeks. That was basically Clan Wars campaign, was freaking atrocious. Just in the Clan Wars campaign, you had times in between where you didn't had to do anything, where you can just chill for a second or an hour or so because you don't have games. But again, we said 36 games per day theoretically, or 500 games divided by 2, 250 games, I didn't need to calculate it, 200 games in 1 week. I play World of Tanks a lot, as already said, and in the last 7 days, I played a lot of World of Tanks as well. Obviously, what's it called? Frontline is not included. And in the last 24 hours, not 28, which was a Monday, I played 18 games. Which is still a lot, like, don't get me wrong, that's still a lot. Yet we are by far just under half the amount of games we've predicted to do. Long story short, I annoyed you enough with math already, even though it's really basic stuff. I think that this challenge is way blown out of proportion, and only full-time streamers or full-time people which have no jobs and only play World of Tanks will be able to get that tank. I have no doubts that people like Papa Pavian, like Myland, like Skill4Ale to You, like Quickie Baby, what are other famous? Surfosh, Death Games. I don't really think that they will have troubles to get this thing. They might have troubles, because they have YouTube channels on their own, they have to tend and they have to do videos on and cut episodes and do content with. But I personally think that this challenge is blown way out of proportion. I personally I won't buy the tank immediately, because fair and square, first of all, I'm Swiss. Obviously, I have to tend my bank. Jokes aside, yeah, I don't really want to waste so much money into the tank when it probably will be around $50 to $60. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money which I can use to either upgrade my YouTube channel with different things or actually go to eat something nice for once. Yeah. And to be fair, there are a lot of people already out there which did previews of this vehicle already, so I will just play as a little bit here, a little bit there, because in the end I don't need this tank directly. I need it at the end, in 6th of March, because on the 11th, Frontline is coming around, and I will be spamming this tank left and right. Because basically this tank is just made for Frontline. And I can tell you guys already, this tank is so much better than the Lynx 6x6, because it's much, much smaller. I felt that upgrade, which was huge, from the tier 8 to the tier 9 tank. And even though the gun is basically the same, it was a huge upgrade, because the tier 9 tank is so much smaller than the box-like tier 8 tank. So this tank is basically the same. It has a little bit bigger turret, but that's about it. It has worse fuel range, obviously, than a tier 9 tank. That's also something. But the gun, in theory, is a little bit better than the tier 8 tanks one, because you have this burst potential, plus you can do 520 damage with HE in a clip, which is enough to basically just screw over Sky Piggies. But yeah, also World of Tanks made a video to this, but even on the German channel, even in the English channel, it vanished because there was, I think, a typo in it from the times. So yeah, the last thing we can have a look at is what World of Tanks or Wargaming changed about the EBR 75. And they nerfed the HP, or the horsepower, which is not a big deal, I think, because 33 is still a lot. 54 was way out of proportion. Just so you know, 54 is what I think not even the tier 10 tank has. The tier 9 tank has 40, and trust me, this tank is already super duper speedy. Like, by the way, a really cool tank, and I love playing this tank. The only saving grace for this challenge is that you get a free 0-skill BR crew, which means, yes, I can play this tank again because I got a crew again. Hooray, that's awesome sauce, and I'm looking very, very forward to that. Because I already got a commander for this tank, which was a female crew member from the missions which we got from the Chimera. So I'm super looking forward to that, because we get a free 0-skill BR crew, but yeah. Then they changed a little bit of the speed. It was 85, now it's 80 max. Still better in total than the one on the Lynx. This is also still better than the one on the Lynx. This one, 33 degrees, is also, I think, better than on the Lynx, but it's not really that big of a difference or a big deal, because when this is higher, the tank is much more jerkier to move. Like, this one has 33 degrees per second, and it feels super jerky to move. This one as well, but it's not that big of a deal. I think this one handled better than the tier 10 tank. I think the problem with the tier 10 tank is that it goes faster and has more horsepower to boot. And yeah, this one is also changed for everybody. Last thing you get is a better DPM and more camouflage. That's about it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my little video. If you share my opinion on this being way blown out of proportion, feel free to share this video, because this is how we get a bigger community and we grow together, because it's up to you guys to share my videos with your friends, with your families. I don't freaking know, clan mates. I think family is a little bit too much, I guess, but I don't know. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.